Okay, Beastly, the 2011 dark, edgy version of the classic story Beauty and the Beast, starring I Am Number 4 as the Beast, Vanessa Hudgens as the Beauty, and the witch being played by Mary-Kate Olsen. Yes, so now I've seen a movie that had the dude from I Am Number 4, the girl who's primarily known from the High School Musical series, and one of the Olsen twins from Full House. So I Am Number 4 is kind of it's very easy to put this. He's kind of a severely arrogant, egotistical, I'll just say prick. From the first time you meet him, he essentially says, you know, being ugly sucks and being attractive is the best thing in the world. Why are you going to vote for me to be your Green Committee chairman? I don't care about the planet, but I'm ridiculously good and that's why you're going to vote for me. And of course that really cheeses off the kind of dressed like pseudo Lady Gaga Mary-Kate Olsen, who is also this overly extravagant school's resident witch. So she of course ends up essentially cursing him to look as ugly as he is on the inside and on the outside. So after they have essentially his inauguration party, the next day he wakes up and she messed him up good. He's got like deep lacerations and like stable holding them together and like a really crazy, you know, like almost like nose ring sort of piercing, and what looks almost like a metal tree kind of going up his skull and covered in tattoos and slash marks. He looks like he got on the wrong side of multiple slasher villains. And of course his dad is kind of like, yeah, I don't want to be seen in public with you, so I'm going to kind of put you in this little secluded spot, and you know, we'll try to figure out what it is to fix this. And he's got like boils on the side of his nose. They did a really good job on the makeup for this. Really good job on that aspect. And then a couple of months goes by, and that's when his tutor shows up, Neil Patrick Harris. So Doogie Howser is his blind tutor. You know, several months go by, his character essentially having self-pity, and then all of a sudden he kind of realizes, yeah, I remember the last night that I was attractive at the party that I was at, talking to the Vanessa Hudgens character, who definitely had a crush on him when he was, you know, the attractive, egotistical prick, for lack of better terminology. You know, he kind of begins to, I guess, stalk her, and nobody notices this weird guy in like a black hoodie, always in the shadows, skulking around watching this girl. One day he finds out that, you know, her dad's being attacked, and her dad of course is a junkie. So he ends up essentially saving her, which then he kind of tells her father, no, I'm going to take care of her. So essentially kind of kidnaps her for multiple months, and then kind of, you know, finds out great things about her and becomes in himself a better person. And that's essentially, you know, the whole idea of it is for him to be, you know, less self-serving, think about other people, try to help other people, and in turn doing that and finding someone who loves him for his inner beauty, not just the way he looks on the outside, and also for him to cultivate his own inner beauty. And actually it's not bad. It actually was a pretty decent, you know, modern retelling of the classic Beauty and the Beast story. My one biggest complaint is that the dialogue is really quiet and the music is really loud. In some ways it felt like they took Beauty and the Beast, put it in the high school you tend to see from My Super Sweet 16, and then blended it with The Hills for a little while. Because in the beginning there's a small sequence of dialogue, and then a musical interlude. Then a small sequence of dialogue and a musical interlude. But it's actually done. It's done relatively well. I'll give them credit for that. You know, this is a story that has been done multiple times. Of course, in this version, there are no singing clocks, there are no singing candelabras. But you know, if you're in the mood for I'd definitely say it falls into the darker, edgier sort of, you know, modern retelling. And at the very end, you know, it's like your standard pseudo fairy tale where you've got everything goes good for the people who deserve good things to happen to them. And there's a very fun, unique sort of twist at the very end, where, if you're a good person, good things happen to you. If you're a bad person, of course, therefore, bad things have to happen to you. So all in all, I'll be honest, a pretty solid movie. And that is Beastman.